Okay. There we are. I do believe we're live again. I hope to God we are live. Um, I have.
Hello, I broke the stream.
Yes. No, it was my connection. It went down the tubes. Like
Yeah,
it's like right in the middle of the sun talking to. It's like my connection went burn. I was really worried too because I think that this connections might have been about to go out. I just didn't know. But yeah, I apologize 100% for that. At least I didn't lose any of my viewers.
it's all
Um,
right. It's all good. It's all good. I think, to be honest, Skype was getting bored of me and was going, "Get rid of him, die." But no, where were we? Oh yeah, the news story about episode was it one selling the most on PS3 or episode
yeah.
two?
It was
Yeah,
episode
okay,
one selling the best on PS3,
yeah,
360 second, and we last actually.
cool, yeah. Because I was just saying I interviewed Sumo Digital for Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed recently, and I was talking to them about like the whole comparisons with Mario Kart and things, and Sumo Digital came back to me and said, "Well, the funny thing is, Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, the original, actually sold the most on the Wii rather than the PS3 and the 360. I mean, they sold well across the board. Don't get me wrong; it wasn't a didn't bomb, far from it. That's why they're making a sequel. But they were worried about being compared to Mario Kart and stuff. But in actual fact, it sold most on the Wii than any other platform. And I was like, no, that's really weird and slightly ironic at the same time, you know? Um, it's funny. Like, I guess there's some kind of similar logic or something to the PS3 being, the best seller for Sonic Episode One. I'm not sure, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I've heard weirder things.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm usually one would think that the Wii was the most selling, platform for Sonic games, but this proves that maybe it's not that simple.
Well, if the Wii was last selling Episode One, then it kind of stands to reason why there isn't an Episode Two on the Wii. So
Yeah,
you saw all those every Sonic fan on Earth with a Wii kind of going, "Why is there no Episode Two on the Wii? This has ruined my life." And I'm like, "Well, dude, seriously, it's been 5 years since the Wii, well, at least 6 years since the Wii came out, and you don't have either a PS3 or a 360 or even an iPhone or even a PC. How are you typing this? Like, how can you not have a platform that can play Episode Two? I mean, I know kids aren't quite choosers when it comes to the amount of consoles you can have. Hell, I remember when I was a kid, I had a Master System, and I wasn't even allowed a Mega Drive until I sold my Master System, and so on as you went up the chain. But everyone's got a PC, and they just get on Steam. It's wicked. And if you got it on Steam, you got it before anyone else anyway. So it's kind of weird. But
yeah. I
yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, the PS3 in general has really been there's been a lot of really unique indie titles on the 362, but in terms of um, the mindset of gamers, I think the home has really been home console wise PS3. I mean, you look at what Sega's doing now with Arcado and Hell Yeah, which is a game I'm very very much looking forward to, by the way. But before the Sega partnership, Arcado did a couple of like kind of small bite-sized games for the PS3. And I think I remember an interview with them that were saying they're a really small French studio. They literally couldn't have put it anywhere else. Like, that was the best environment for them to do it. And you see these similar games appearing on a PS3, like Journey, Flower, Flow, Pixel Junk. As a downloadable games console, um, it kind of matches and the 360, but in some ways, in terms of unique experiences, I would argue it would kind of push ahead of the 360 in some ways. I know I'm probably going to open myself to a hell of a lot of burn from that, from 360 fanboys or something. But I have both consoles. I love them both, but that's just how I generally feel about it. So maybe episode one sold the most on the PS3 because of that fact. You know, a majority of gamers recognize the PS3 as the console for download games. Maybe XBLA, I don't know, it's too inconvenient for them. I don't know. I'm just postulating here, but maybe there's some kind of weird reason for it. Maybe it's just as weird as the Wii version of racing selling the most. I don't know.
Yeah, who
Screw the
knows?
panel. I'm just a man. I am but a man.
Yeah, it's I guess episode one selling best on PS3 makes sense. I mean, it it's as long as episode one sold well at all, that's what matters. So yeah,
Hmm. Well, how can episode two sell less than episode one? I mean, they've improved the title screen music. They've jazzed it up. Sorry, I actually quite like that title theme. I think it should be kept.
this is do hour with Dreadknux. Um, that's a brilliant tune. It makes it even better when you hear people up into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shoot her. Um, so yeah, I guess that's exhausted that conversation. I
yeah,
guess. Yeah.
yeah,
Well done, Sega and Sony. I guess.
yeah. But yeah, apparently Christian Whitehead actually mentioned that Sonic CD DLC is not impossible.
No, is it? Is this? Are we on point five or?
Yeah, 5.
Okay, cool. I thought this was part of the last thing.
No.
Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean that's pretty cool. I mean, it's quite cool how relaxed Sonic Team have been with the fact that Christian has been, doing this. I think Sega and Sonic Team have always wanted to figure out a way to do Sonic CD, um, and I think the impression has always been that with Sonic CD they would just do an emulation job, or because it's a Japanese studio, they might just get the arse ache because it's not a Japanese guy and it's not an internal job doing the port. So, they're pretty just like stifle Christian stuff. But I think Sonic CD has proven that, it's kind of it's a really good success story for the community and Sonic Team in general. I mean, it shows that Sonic Team and Izuka-san are quite open to these, to fans coming up to them, and well, not fans per se, I guess, more Westerners, non Sonic Team things. They're very protective of their IP, aren't they? Really, Japanese studios and stuff. I mean, I guess anyone is, but the fact that they've been so open with Christian about letting him just faff around with his own code, um, it's a big thing, I think. And I think the fact that the whole DLC news, the non impossibility of it, I think that just highlights that how open Sonic Team and Sega are these days. You know, it's it's quite something. I mean, you've had Brad Flick and Skylar King's input on episode two, for instance. They're in the credits. You got Summer of Sonic, which is like a collaboration effort between official and fan. And you've got Christian Whitehead's Sonic CD project, which is now official and is a bona fide actual official product. So I think all of these have really kind of displayed that Sega's really kind of taken a few really massive steps
Yeah,
to interacting with the fan base. Um, but
definitely.
yeah, I think it's speaking directly about the DLC and not being so wafty about it. I would say that I'd like to see DLC for it, but I don't know actually. It really depends. The reason that I remember Christian saying something about something along the lines of this a couple of months ago, perhaps, when there was like secret art that you could find in a sound test or something. And there were of two brand new zones that he had pitched to Sonic Team, and Sonic Team had basically said, well, they thought it was a good idea, their problem wasn't with the levels or anything, or even the suggestion that they would add levels because they added Tails after all. But I think it was basically they wanted to add stuff while still retaining the core of the original game. You know, adding
Yeah.
Tails, adding Tails doesn't really transform the game quite as much from its original version as putting in two levels would do. Adding two extra levels to the game would really transform that game from a simple port to something that is, oh my god, is this a reimagining? What is it? You know, I think there would be that kind of confusion. Um, Maybe the DLC idea is a way of getting around that. You know,
Yeah.
maybe it's a way of saying yes, you can have new content using this engine. Um, and I, you know, if that's their way of thinking, I'm all for it because Sonic Team really need to jump on Christian and they need to jump on that engine because it's absolutely stunning. It's a perfect replication of the original classic Mega Drive games. They can have the source code, they can dilly dally with it, they can just lap it up. And future Sonic games using that engine, wow, I wouldn't rule it out as a prediction, but they certainly would be stupid if they didn't at least consider the concept.
Yeah.
So DLC maybe is a stepping stone to that. So let's just hope the level design and stuff isn't shit. But given that Christian is a very competent person in terms of everything regarding Sonic CD, I would not believe for a second that those DLC proposals, if they do exist, um, are anything short of amazing.
Yeah. Sonic City was great, the re-release, and DLC would just make it even better. And I could see, a lot of fans raking up the copies just because of the fact that it's, something that Sega doesn't do often, and it's fun, and I could see a lot of good coming from DLC for CD. So,
Mm,
but yeah, kind of, it's hard to believe, but we've actually been doing this show for 3 hours now.
I know.
Three, a 3 hour show. Although technically two, three-thirds of it was me panicking. Oh my God, my connection's out. But, um, yeah, to be fair, it does make up for the massive amount of downtime that the show will be having these next few weeks. So think of it as like making up for that time frame, so to speak.
Have we got enough content in this 3 hour show to cover pretty much all the weeks that you will not be on the show?
It'll be 2 weeks. Like, there will be two shows I won't be doing, which is next week and the week after that, because, well, I'll explain a bit since we're getting actually close to that topic. We only actually have four more topics left to cover. So,
Only
so,
five?
oh my God, we're so close. But yeah, GameStop Power Up Rewards Club, as we're moving on to topic 6 actually, is now selling Sega Genesis games.
You might have to help me out a bit here. Like, I know what GameStop is. What the bloody hell is Power Club?
It's a separate rewards program that they have where you can trade in little. If you buy stuff on GameStop and trade stuff, they actually give you some power up points, and you can go spend them on the Power Up Rewards website that they have that they are closely they're pretty much they manage it, but they can let you trade the points you get from trading games and all that for other games and prizes and merchandise and even Microsoft points and
Right, I'm with you now. Yeah, we have similar um, initiatives in game stores in the UK as well. Yeah, that's cool. I can dig that. So sorry, say that again. So if you get like loads of power up points, you can do what now
you
with
can you
some?
you can get things like other games,
No. But I mean, like,
merchandise and
what was? No, I get that. What was the original news story? The topic.
oh, that they are now selling the Power Rewards is now selling Sega Genesis games.
Oh, right. Okay. So you can use these power up points to get.
Sega Genesis games now.
So what? Download them on PC or what?
You can actually get the actual cartridges, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. like a second-hand cartridges, right? Like, not obviously.
No, they're the actual cartridges.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, but obviously they're not reprinting cartridges just for this
No.
thing, are they? That you get in like pre-owned
Yeah.
Genesis cartridges. That's really weird. Do GameStop have like a massive retro section, or is this completely out there for you guys? What?
GameStop is they don't actually have many retro things, but they do mention it every now and then, like being able to trade in old games for a new game and things like that. But
Yeah, yeah. But I
this is
mean, like we have. I would imagine GameStop is similar to a chain shop over here called Game, where they basically just focus on the current release hardware. You know, like
yeah,
Xbox 60, Wii, DS, 3DS, all that stuff. Um, and that's all they dedicate the shop space for. We do have another chain of stores called Game Station, and but they're owned by the same company now, which is a bit bad. But before then, they used to have a really prominent retro section where they would actually sell old Mega Drive cartridges, Sega Saturn CDs, PlayStation 1 CDs, and all the rest of it. So, does GameStop, the significance of this is quite huge. If GameStop doesn't have a section where you can already buy Genesis cartridges, it's quite cool that a shop that only focuses on selling new games is offering random Genesis cartridges, don't you think?
yeah, it's really cool. I mean, as far as I know, they don't actually have a section for Genesis games in their stores, but I do believe they have time to acknowledge the older games every now and then. But yeah, they do focus on the current hardware and games more than anything. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to see that they're selling Genesis games again on Pirate Rewards.
That's
Um,
cool. That's yeah, it's quite an out there concept. Um, I assume there would be you'd be able to buy actual Genesis consoles with that, or is it just the cartridges?
so far, it sounds to me like they're just selling the cartridges, but I'd imagine the consoles are coming soon.
That's so odd. Like, you know, if there's no retro section in GameStop, and the only way you can get these cartridges is by this reward scheme, you know, you got to assume that the people taking advantage of this, they'll just be like, "Oh, you can get Sonic One, by the way," and you know, if they don't mention that it's the Genesis cartridge, average Joe store shopper is going to go, "Yeah, all right, free shit, give me that," and then they're just going to be like, "What the bloody hell is this? I don't even have a Genesis anymore. You know, I had sold that 10 years ago." You'd be sitting there at home, like looking at the cartridge, going, weeping softly.
Yeah, that's the most somber sounding Sonic 4 tune I've ever heard.
Wouldn't it be funny, right? If kids who you know you see a lot of a generation of Sonic fans whose first game net now is Sonic Heroes. So imagine if that generation first played Sonic 4 Episode 1 and now Sonic 4 Episode 2, never played the Genesis games. Then they ended up getting this from GameStop, finding a Genesis, and then they started playing it and going,
What the
"It's not as good.
hell is this?
It's not as good as Sonic 4." It would be blasphemy, but you reckon I could just see that happening.
I could see that happening too, especially, 5, 10 years from now when they're a bit older. I mean, no question about it. But I still think a Genesis will always hold dear in my heart. As a matter of fact, the Genesis I used to play as a little kid is next to me. It's just kind of ironic to think I've been playing video games for 10, 15 years now. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness. Oh, the
Well,
years.
I got nothing really to add to that other than that's a pretty cool promotion, if not entirely bizarre.
Yeah. I don't know what is any bizarre in that than that, but and moving on to the next topic, apparently the Mexico City Sega offices held a Sonic Friday event. Um,
Right.
this past Friday in Mexico, which is
As
weird.
in, how? What do you mean exactly? Like a real life event, or they did like
They
Free Stuff Friday, but on Twitter or what?
they welcomed in some viewers. They gave away a few things. I think they even tried out a let people try out a Sega game that apparently we already know. Um,
Was
It's
it? Was it? Do, 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 do. Nah, I won't do that anymore. Shoot her, shoot her. So Sega Mexico invited a bunch of dudes into their office to play some games.
apparently, according to TSSC, they actually had a Sonic Saturday event previously, a couple weeks ago, and this past Friday they had a little event of their own, get together.
See, I always go to TSS for my Mexico news.
Yeah,
I know their Mexican office quite well.
yeah.
No, I love Tristan. Um, yeah, no, that's actually it's quite nice. Not quite sure how it was organized. I guess it's not really any of our business, but it just reminds me of the kind of stuff that Sega's community department used to pull over in the UK. When AAUK was the community manager, he'd hold a few kind of community days where he'd invite Sonic fans and general Sega fans that ran like blogs and fan sites to come over to the Sega office and play, whatever was coming up and stuff. I remember going to in back in 2008, early 2008, I think, um, or maybe mid 2008. I went to Sega's offices with a bunch of fellow Sonic fans to be one of the first to play Sonic Unleashed, and there was a competition that AAUK had set up in Sega's office. They had a couple of pods set up in the middle, and it was basically the intro stage to Sonic Unleashed before you even faff around with you know Apatos and Windmill Isle and all the rest of it. It's that bit where you crash land at the very beginning, and it's almost like the tutorial stage.
Yeah.
And the challenge was whoever was the fastest to go through that level won a PS3, and I decided that I really wanted this PS3, so I normally I'm not bothered about competition prizes and stuff, but I decided, yeah, this is real. This is the real shit. So I decided that, well, what was lucky for me was that I ended up um playing kind of in one of the last waves of fans, because there were two pods and they got one on each pod, and raced against each other, then put their name times down. You got one go at it. So I was watching everyone else play, how they were playing it, tried to make note of all the bits where you had to jump, where you had to boost, where you had to kind of quick step. And by the time I hopped on, I was like, right, I hope I don't mess this up. And I got the fastest time out of it, and I was just like, yeah, I win PS3 disc. So yeah, that was. I don't know why I'm telling this story. I just it just sticks out in my head. I just want to say that I'm good.
Yeah.
Please like me. I won a PS3 once. Please like me. That's basically my story. Yeah.
It's funny coincidental considering I had just gotten my PS3 late last year, so I haven't had mine for very long.
Oh wow. Did you win it at a competition?
No, I actually rented it. It's still being uh paid for as I speak monthly, but I got my PS3 just late last year, and at around the same time I got Generations to try out, so
Oh right. You didn't win it at a competition. Shame. I won mine at a competition. Do you want me to tell you all about it? See, I was at the Sega event. No, really. um, what was the point of this topic?
uh I don't
Oh,
know.
so Mexico. Yeah, it's all about them Mexicans. So they hosted an event, and it was good. Yeah, no, that it reminds me of all the cool things that AUK held for us lowly Sonic fans for pre-release versions of shit. So yeah, no, it seems that way of thinking is slowly permeating throughout the world. I guess that's the right word to use. Permeate. It sounds a bit clinical, but whatever. Um, so yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
Best of Sega, do that shit.
yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Um But yeah, we're finally getting near the end of the show. Just a few more topics, but apparently Sonic, as we move on to yet another topic, Sonic apparently endorses Nike now. Um,
Hey,
yes,
that's funny, isn't it?
yeah,
I I
Sonic,
still don't quite understand that.
yeah, Sonic made a cameo appearance in a Nike ad, and apparently there's a Sonic mini game Easter egg related to Nike that got discovered.
I'm almost concerned as to whether you know they actually got permission or not to do that. I would imagine that they almost certainly would have. The obvious choices. Nike is a huge company. Sega's a huge company. Of course, they spoke to each other, but the way they just did it, it was just weird. It's just like, oh, by the way, there's the Sonic thing. I'm like, what the fuck? That's so odd. That's just bizarre. It's almost as weird as GameStop giving away Genesis cartridges.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this? It seems to it seems to me that Sega's starting to get um a bit more viral, I guess, in how it does things. And I guess that's a great thing to do because it gets people talking for one, and B, viral marketing like that is going to be infinitely cheaper than, well, than getting TV ads or whatever. It gets people talking in that sense. Um, they could have done something viral with Binary Domain, which is a fantastic game that they made, but didn't get sold really. But it seems to me that Sonic seems to be the test bed for a lot of things. So the whole Nike thing, um, and the progressive TV ad. We're starting to see Sonic's face on a lot of things now, and it's almost getting back to the point of where we were in 1993 when I was a kid, where you'd walk down the street and you'd literally see Sonic's face on everything. Pencil cases, sticker books, magazines, everything. Bigger than Mickey Mouse, and he'll never get to that level of popularity again. His time's been and gone to be like the biggest thing on earth. But he's slowly coming back as like a cult retro icon, and I think that's shown with the whole Nike Sonic One stuff as well, in particular. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think hopefully it's a start of Sega being a bit more creative and adventurous with its product placement, and its marketing above all else, because Sega does some really great games that aren't Sonic, and they really need to make sure that people buy them because people just don't, because they just don't market them. So yeah, that was my mini rant.
It's it really turned out great. I mean, weird but great.
Mm.
It's it's just funny how Sonic is endorsing running shoes after he was just seen in a car insurance commercial. Irony, but
Did you play the game? I haven't played the game yet. The Easter egg game.
no, but a few of the SP guys did last night, and apparently it was weird as shit.
I guess it's nothing like Sonic One.
No, I think it was like that. What was that one game that came out in that Sonic 20th anniversary app? Um,
Sketchhog.
yeah, it's kind of like that, except you can also kick balls to defeat the opposition or something like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Wait, Sonic wears Nike.
Yeah,
Oh my god, someone in the chat has actually said Sonic gets new shoes in it. I wasn't wrong. I predicted it, except I didn't because,
yeah,
I didn't predict shit. But
yeah,
yeah, yeah, basically weird.
yeah. But yeah, I guess we should move on now. But yeah, apparently Sonic 4 music is going to be on iTunes in the future.
It needs to be. I actually quite like that music. It's a bit meow 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 meow, but it grows on you. It's a grower.
Meow meow
Um,
meow 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 meow.
yeah. Say what you, but it's catchy as hell. I would actually do that. I saw a Sega blog post last week, and it was about the Sonic. like um a bunch of Sonic soundtracks were released on iTunes, and I went straight to iTunes because one of the soundtracks, Sonic Hybrid Colors, which is obviously Sonic Colors' original soundtrack, I don't have the physical copy of. When it came out, I couldn't really afford it to import it, so I'd have that in a heartbeat downloaded. But unfortunately, it's only available on US iTunes, so I'm just like, really? Uh, and now we'll threaten Sega with um, things if they don't bring it out over here on UK iTunes. I will have a fit. I'll have a hissy fit. I'll campaign at Summer of Sonic. I'll be like, I'm just gonna we're gonna hold the convention to ransom. I'm just gonna sit here on the stage until Sega releases the soundtrack on iTunes. I'm like, I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
But no, I think in speaking with June Sonoy about the music soundtracks and how he wants to release them for a long time. For a long time, he's wanted to have the opportunity to sell the soundtracks worldwide because Sonic's, you know, it's not inaccurate to say that Sonic's way more popular in Europe and the US than he is in Japan. But and yet we still can't get easy access to these soundtracks. Now, the physical CDs is going to be a pain in the ass because you've got to deal with record labels and all the rest of it. And, game soundtracks aren't readily available over here. So your only avenue really is digital. And I think June has been pushing to have these on iTunes for quite a while. So it's really cool to see that they're starting to get, some traction. And yeah, I'd welcome Sonic 4 soundtrack. I'd buy it. I would.
Um, I would too, but on a really extreme side note, apparently the news just came out. I think. Apparently Robin Gibb of the Bee Gees died.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Really? Wow.
yeah,
Jesus. That's wow, that's bad news.
it is. I mean, it literally apparently it just came out because I'm seeing everyone making tweets about it, and I just now see the story on Yahoo.com right now. He was 62.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I'm just seeing it here now. Bloody hell, what a legend. Rest in peace. Guess he wasn't staying alive for too much longer.
Yeah.
Someone say it. Someone had to say it. Don't kill me. Fuck off.
Someone was gonna say it sooner or later, but yeah, rest in peace, Robin.
Yeah, good bloke. Not that I knew him personally. Just saying.
Yeah, it's really sad to see. He was the founding member of the Bee Gees too.
That's right, yeah.
Wow.
I really don't have anything else to comment other than condolences and respect. That man was a legend.
Yeah. Skullwolf, that wasn't exactly a good time to make that joke.
I'm
Um,
not quoting Jurassic Park for this. Let's move on.
yeah, that's gonna bring down the mood pretty quickly. But yeah, let's quickly move on before we turn sober and start crying and song wishes for tissues for us. But yeah, apparently Yuji Naka apparently he said that the newer Sonic games were not as fun as past titles. I don't know what to make of that.
I've been reading a few things. It seems that words were twisted somewhat. I don't think he actually properly said that. I think it was more of a headline trying to a snappy headline deal. From what I understand in the report on TSS, he does say words to that effect, but I think his direct quote is I think the number one reason is that the games have become much easier, so the gamer doesn't feel that extreme joy that comes with the satisfaction of accomplishing something that was very difficult to achieve. That's Yuji Naka's quote. The quote that is actually being, pushed around. I also think that the recent iterations have not been as fun when compared to those of the past. that quote isn't Yuji Naka. That's actually the
Hmm.
journalist who is talking to him. Um, Apparently, the article paraphrases and says that Naka-san agreed, but without a direct quote. I'm not going to read too much into the whole Naka agreed, because he agreed by what? Nodding his head. Japanese people nod their heads all the time. So, it's kind of, I don't know if it's a lost in translation thing, um, or maybe it was Naka just trying to add some kind of context to why he thinks that journalist may feel that way. Um, but yeah, I would agree that the games have become easier. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I I really I don't really disagree with that. But at the end of the day, the Sonic games are made for kids. So
Yeah.
as long as it's not, you know, stupidly easy. I found episode 2 of Sonic 4 way harder than episode 1 for a start, much more difficult. Got my ass completely kicked from here to Kingdom Come. Um, so I think there's some kind of learning curve that I guess Sonic Team is learning from. Uh, Colors is definitely easier than most, and Generations took me 5 hours. But then I would argue that the best Sonic games take, you know, quite a short time to complete compared to others anyway, apart from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But then that doesn't really count almost because it's a lock on game. So yeah,
Yeah.
2 games in one there. What I would like to comment on is that um, I think Nakasan said that uh, he would like to be involved in a future Sonic game if you know the situation was right and he was allowed to and all the rest of it. So um, I think that would be quite cool.
It would.
At least having some kind of input, maybe for an anniversary game. I don't know. I think we're some years away yet from Naka having any kind of involvement back on Sonic. I mean, given that the reason he left Sega in the first place was to kind of create his own stuff, I'd personally like to see more of his own original stuff before he comes back to Sonic. I don't think that ProPay, his own independent studio, hasn't got off the starting grid yet. I think it will prove itself as a proper Japanese game studio, but I think Naka's just biding his time. I think once Rodea the Sky Soldier comes out, that'll be when ProPay can say we've landed, we've arrived. And I'd like to see a couple of the ideas that Naka has for that studio before he revisits Sonic, because I think for him it would almost be like taking a step backwards.
Yeah. I think I could definitely see some good stuff coming from Naka's company. I mean, no doubt about it. And I mean, as much as I would like to see Naka return for a Sonic game, there's no doubt in my mind that what comes first will be, what he's already left Sega to do. So,
Mm,
but
definitely.
but yeah, it's pretty odd how quickly everyone messed around with what Yuji Naka actually said. But I
Uh,
mean,
well, unfortunately, in my profession, it happens a lot of the time. So, I think it's very easy as well for Japanese developers, for Western developers to kind of not so much misquote them, but kind of take a few liberties here and there, because there can be, because of the, I guess, the culture and the sentence structure and the way the language is. There's a lot of different ways to interpret a certain sentence. So, you know,
yeah,
I think it's easier to grab a headline, to give yourself as a writer the benefit of the doubt and go, did he really mean that? oh yeah, we can kind of think he meant that because that's sort of what he's saying if you interpret it in that way. So yeah, I think it's a headline generated from an interpretation of a direct quote, essentially.
Yeah, it's I'm really hoping to see some good games from Yuji Naka's company someday, and I imagine we'll see some. I mean, he definitely knows what he's doing, so.
Mm, exactly.
But yeah, I cannot believe it, but we are finally at the last topic for tonight.
Hey,
Yay!
bit
But
emotional.
and it's really not that much of a topic, really. It's just me promoting shit like the whore I am. But
Do you want me
but
to say something? Like, I think Sonic Paradox is great. I like their videos. I think they do. They very funny with the commentary on Sonic and Sega games. They make worthy things and do good things.
no, it's promoting the E3 coverage I'm gonna be doing soon.
Oh,
Um,
okay. I
yeah.
think E3 coverage be really good. I think expand on many different levels. Sonic Paradox with Donny on E3 be good for expanding various commentary pieces on games. And Donny Goodman, he no good time, give you good time. $5.
Oh man.
You can record that and keep that as a as an advert for your upcoming shows if you want. I won't charge.
Yes. Oh man, that's brilliant. But yeah, this will be actually the final Sonic News Show, as I said, for a couple of weeks. Because as I said, there will be some E3 coverage in the coming, starting tomorrow actually, will be the start of the pre-E3 coverage, and each day from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern, which is good, 11 to 1 a.m. UK. Each day from May 21st to 31st, there will be, like I said, each of those at that time, each of those days I mentioned, we'll have hours dedicated to pre-3, hype trailers and more. And of course, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd will be the main E3 coverage. Uh, those will be of course, the final days of the pre-E3 coverage. To be fair, but that's the start of the big E3 coverage, where I'm really going to be um, covering it. And as I said before, it was 6 to 8 p.m. for those who are asking. 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern for those who wanted the Eastern times. But yeah, 1st, 2nd, 3rd of June will be the final hype before E3 begins, which those will be going from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Eastern. That is 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. UK.
Watch
Uh,
it, or I'll go around your house and break your legs.
yes. And June 4th will be oh my God, I forgot how long I'm gonna be streaming that day. Um, June 4th will be day one of the main E3 coverage. That will have E3 showing off the live streaming of the E3 conferences with analysis. I don't know if I'll have live commentary. Probably will, but we'll see. But with a you know, live streaming of the conferences, like all four of them, they're gonna be happening on that one day alone. The latest trailers, latest news, and of course, I'll make sure to bring up the latest Sonic E3 news, if it comes out on that day. Cause
You better.
yeah, that's gonna be the
I've got
main
my eye
thing.
on you. Like seriously, you better not be messing around.
No, I'm not gonna be messing around.
Good.
And yeah, that's gonna be going. Oh my God, from 9 a.m. to midnight. That is,
That's well after my bedtime.
yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern to midnight, literally. That'll be like, let me see, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. That'll be 2 p.m. to 5 a.m. UK. So 2 p.m. on June 4th, all the way to 5 a.m. on the 5th. That's a lot of coverage. Oh God, I'll be exhausted after that day. Um, June 5th will be J2. Same thing as before, but with just Nintendo this time with live streaming conference. conference live streaming. We have trailers again and news. This one will be a little bit less, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. That will be again, oh God, I keep forgetting the times. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. 2 p.m. to midnight UK time. So 2 p.m. June 5th to midnight June 6th. Good Lord. Um, June 6th will be day 3. This time it'll be just E3 trailers and news. 1 p.m. Both of these days actually, June 6th and 7th will be June day 3 and 4 of E3 trailers and news. Those will be going from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. That's 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. UK for both of those days. And then the final day will be June 8th. The only day of post E3 coverage will be, again, the latest E3 trailers and news, and that also will be going from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. UK. And then after that, June 9th will be a day off for me, because I'll definitely need that. And then June 10th, the Sonic News Show will be back with its permanent time change of 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UK. Although, say if I had to do like I did for this show and start a couple of hours earlier, I'll gladly do that, if I really need to. But the base time, if I don't need to do that, will be 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UK, which will be just after the Sonic Show live and ends, uh, as part of the Sunday night Sonic lineup, which has Radio Redux, it has the Sonic Show live afterwards, and then the Sonic News Show. Did I get all that? I don't know.
You did a good job.
Y-
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
I don't know of anyone else that's gonna be I don't think I know of any other site that's gonna be streaming like that, but oh goodness.
You know what? You convinced me. You should. Everyone else should be convinced too. You better be watching. Otherwise, what the hell is this all about anyway? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's all for E3. I mean, like I
Donnie's
said,
doing it all for you.
yeah,
All for you.
there really is no other like site like this that is gonna do something like that.
There's no other man like Donnie in this world.
No, there's no other
You
person.
owe it to yourself to listen to him.
Yeah, there's no other site that has someone that has low a life as me, pretty much.
G4 does have E3 coverage, but G4 have Action Man Jeff Keighley, who is basically as the personality of a potato.
G4 isn't even on DirecTV anymore. Like, so few people even get to see G4 now, and Spike TV's only airing Microsoft's conference.
Oh, Spike TV, that's the one. Sorry,
Yeah,
Jeff. I thought you were on G4.
yeah. Spike TV's airing Microsoft conference, and G4 is airing, I think, the others, but DirecTV doesn't have it anymore, and that was really, I think, a lot of their audience. And G4's lost so many of their people over the last few months.
Basically, bugger G4 up the bum and go and listen to Donny because he knows his shiz. He
Yeah,
knows his shiznit. See, I'm even using Americanisms, and I'm British, so what have you got to lose?
yeah. It's, I mean, who knows? I think maybe one of those 2 main days that all the conferences are going on, I'll gladly do a little call with some of the big, some of the well-known Sonic figures. I'm all for it. I mean, just depends on if they're
Dude,
available.
you need to watch though. Like I never covered E3 before. But last year when I was able to go to Sonic Boom, I because it was part of my job, I was basically working E3 for the first time ever, and probably one of the best piece of advice I got from other journos who'd been there before, apart from obviously plan, 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 is remember to eat. And from your schedule, it sounds like you really should pay attention to that as well. You need to eat.
Yeah, I gotta look up my
remember
coverage.
remember lunch. Remember lunch.
Yeah,
I remember many times going from East Wing to West Wing or whatever they're called, North and South or East or North or whatever the hell, and you're running from place to place, and then from 9 a.m. to about 5 p.m. and you're writing something up, and you just realize, crap, I haven't actually eaten anything today, have I? And you're fine up until that point, but when you realize that, the second you realize that, you're like, your stomach goes, I'm gonna die. Give me food, and I'm just like, whoa, yeah, I think I'm just gonna eat myself. So yeah, remember to eat, Donny. I
Yeah.
want everybody listening to this show who, you are going to be listening to Donny cover E3 because, otherwise, what's the point in you existing? Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you listen to Donny talking shit about the shit that's at E3 and shit, remember to remind him to eat food.
Yes. Be nice to your food
Yeah.
because or else your food will well, it will dry out and give you diarrhea, and that's not really what I go want to go into. Uh,
What's that?
yeah. By all means, I mean, if anyone wants to get the word out on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever, about the E3 coverage I'm doing, by all means, because as far as I know, I don't think any other uh site is doing something like this in terms of Sega Sonic related. No, and like no disrespect to anyone else. I'm only able to do all this shit because I don't even have a life at all. So, you know, it's I don't know. Like,
Oh, sorry. You do have a life. You do have a life, man. Sorry for the delay.
oh, it's
I
all
was
right.
actually agreeing with you. Ho ho. Um,
Sonic Stadium is not actually doing E3 coverage. I don't think. Are you?
do you know what? I'm glad you asked because um, we will have um, Jason and Alex will be actually on the show floor. Um, I think they're sorting out Sega boothy things. Um, but their coverage will basically be previews and stuff more than anything else. I think we'll try and cover news as it happens, but
Yeah.
we're a hobby site. We try and do things as we find time to do it. But yeah, from the sounds of it, you've got like a really really comprehensive coverage thing going on there. I'm actually very surprised that you're doing all of that on your own. Get some lackeys.
Yeah,
Seriously.
it's not gonna be easy, but I've been able to do it somewhat before. I just didn't, it was only inconvenient. Apparently they're saying the stream is suddenly silent, but I think it's only one person that's having that problem. Livestream really doesn't like me tonight. Um, yeah, it's really saying a lot. Um, how much coverage there is, and it is gonna be all by myself. But as I said, if there's anyone that wants to, like any of the guys on the various Sonic sites that wants to get involved and do like a little Skype call with me in the midst of all of it, I'm all for it. I mean, it's just, up to them. Considering I'll be streaming for so long and so much, they'll have every time in the world to
I'll be
do
up.
this.
I might be up for something. I'll find out what I'm doing. The thing is, I'm in the doghouse with my work actually because I booked E3 week off, so I'm on holiday during E3. I covered it last year. I was actually at LA, and I'm not. I was just like, look, this year I can't bother. I'm going to a heavy metal music festival instead, so I'm going to get drunk and off my face for 5 days on the trot instead of covering the biggest video game event in the world for my job. So yeah, there is that. But I don't know. It's fine. In response to Kitsune Pisces, who says I can get a hangover, the hangover comes after the festival. When you're perpetually drunk for 5 days on a trot, you wake up in the morning and you have another beer. You don't really get the hangover until you actually get home.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how E3 is. I'm really excited to start covering this shit, and um I'm really hoping that everyone enjoys it, 'cause I know I am. The good news thing is, it's not like last year where I actually had 80 hours of coverage. It's I actually had even more time for uh coverage last year, and I cut it down extensively. Lesson learned from all the inconveniences I had. I kept getting screwed over with interruptions and everything, but this year that won't be a problem. So I
Sweet.
can go, as long as I'm able to, with no hassle this time. So I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna flip off the connection I have if it happens again. So, um, yeah,
Yeah, just have a sandwich if you get a disconnect. It
yeah,
will help you remember to eat food. I
Yeah,
talk about food a lot because I like food, all right? Leave me alone.
yeah. Um,
Yeah. You don't quite know what to say to that. It's all
uh,
right. It's cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool all the time, it's being spent on this, this coverage. Like I said, I don't think of anyone else that's really gonna do anything to this extent in terms of, live E3 coverage, but yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on in the chat. Everyone's saying they can't hear anything, which is odd considering I'm looking at the audio and everything's just fine on my end.
Well, I think we're almost done anyway, aren't we?
Yeah, we're pretty much done now, so I know it's really, really late for you. It's a quarter to one.
Yeah. I had to be reanimated from the dead.
Yeah.
It's, it's all right. It's cool.
Okay, yeah, now.
It's like 10 to 1. But no, it's been good to sit down and chat
Yeah.
about Sonic and things. Funny enough, I haven't. I did that last night, but before last night, I haven't been able to do that for a while. So it's been nice.
Yeah, I had loads of fun. I mean, I'll just, to clarify to those who are curious, I do have this whole thing recorded, so I don't know how well it'll be on there, but I imagine it'll be in better shape as before, and plus you guys will get some behind the scenes footage of me freaking the hell out when my connection went out, because it still records even if the connection goes out. So guess what? You guys will be hearing me flipping out and cursing a lot. Yay! Um,
Awesome. I'm gonna listen to it all over again just to hear that bit.
yeah.
Sweet.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I was really freaking out because I was so upset. The connection going out. It's like, please pick up, please pick up, please pick up. But yeah. But yeah, my audio really is fine looking at this. It's like I said, I think it's the live stream itself messing up, but considering I'm recording this separately, I'm recording this, so I'm hoping everything sounds fine, when I put it up on YouTube. But I also have to contend with the fact that now I have to combine two parts together and upload it that way. So, but yeah, I had fun,
Yeah,
regardless.
I've had boatloads of fun. It's all good. I've really enjoyed chatting about um, just Sonic news in general,
Summer Sonic and
spouting my rubbish and talking about Summer Sonic and
yeah, I
talking
mean,
talking about TSS and all the rest of it and things. So yeah,
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, if you or the Summer Sonic staff or the Sonic Stadium staff ever want to pop on a future show, by all means, I'm all for it.
yeah, up for it.
Yeah,
Depends on when, but we'll sort something out.
yeah.
Awesome, sounds good.
I mean,
I hope I wasn't too boring to anyone out on the listening in to this for the last 3 hours. Jesus, you all deserve medals for listening to me talk about bum for like 3 hours.
it's funny too, considering the word bomb was really becoming a constant running gag for the last two shows. So now, just saying that was just the best phrasing ever.
Yeah, I picked up on the bum thing. I wasn't sure if it was something I said or if there's been some kind of running gag.
It, it's
But
it's been a running gag that kind of started from Jamie a couple of weeks ago.
oh, Jamie's all about the bum. Hang on, that's interpreted in two completely different ways. Um, but I will say in my defense that I meant that in a completely innocent way. However, however you want to interpret that is up to you. And with that, I'm going off into the night.
But
So
yeah,
that you dream.
yep, this should be on YouTube very soon, but it will not take as quickly as it has in the past few weeks because now I have to contend with the fact, as I said, I had to combine both pieces of the show that I recorded and combine them, and that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully you get some additional features out of that when you use the lock-on technology.
yes, the SonicNews Show and Knuckles. Knuckles now kisses your ass in the
Hey,
stream.
whoa, 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 hang on a minute. Whoa, yo, you just want to, stop being a little bit fresh there. Me kissing whose bum? What?
Not you. Knuckles.
Oh, Knuckles. Yeah, Knuckles. Yeah, yeah. He does whatever you say. Yeah, that's fine. I thought you meant me for a second.
No,
I'm
not
clearly too tired. I'm
if
just like Knuckles equals me. I'm not Knuckles.
no, you're
I just want to point.
Dreadknux.
I want to point that out to everyone. I'm not Knuckles.
No.
Unlike Knuckles, I chuckle.
Yeah, because he's Dreadknux.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
It's been um it's been a riot. It's been an absolute pleasure being on here. Even though I'm bloody knackered now.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I've really enjoyed myself, and it's been great to be on this chat and to interact with your Sonic Paradox chat room peoples as well. And you're all cool guys. I
Y-
love you all like my children.
Yes. And he does endorse food rather nicely.
Food's wicked. I recommend it.
Yeah. Especially during E3. Oh goodness, but yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight. If you guys want to check out Dreadnux and all that he's done for the Sonic community, you can go to sonicstadium.org. I believe it's .org. Um,
That's correct.
.org, and also go to spong.com if you want to check out his reviews of games like Sonic 4 Episode 2 and
You want to call me a complete bastard for giving Sonic 4 Episode 2 9 out of 10, and then I will call you a bastard for having a different opinion. We'll be friends.
yeah, we'll be great friends. I mean, it's
I think people are asking. The second site is spong.com. So that's SPONG.com. Think of Pong, the game, but with an S at the beginning.
yeah.
I didn't name the site. It's not my problem. I'm sorry. I'm sorry on behalf of my bosses.
But yeah, and if you want to check out all the big sites that is part of the TSS family, oh God, that's gonna be a lot of sites to mention. There's the Sonic News Network, if I remember correct. The exact name of it was the Sonic News Network, um,
Uh,
or was it no, the Sonic Showcase Network, or
yeah. Let me help you out here with a bit. There's the Sonic Stadium, which is, the big boy. SonicStadium.org. There's Sega Sonic Radio, which is radio.sonicstadium.org. There's the Sonic Show, which is thesonicshow.org. If I've got that wrong, Jay will kill me up the bum. Uh, there's Summer of Sonic, which is summerofsonic.com. There's SSMB, but you just go on TSS to look at the link for that. And Sonic Showcase Network, which is ssn.sonicstadium.org. And there's also Sega Driven, which we host, but it's not ours. There's segadriven.com, which is a lovely, awesome general Sega website. And, well, you should know already because you've already heard from Lewis last
yeah,
week.
yeah.
Go.
But yeah, it was summer. I knew I forgot. It's I figured it figures I forget. The one site is the freaking topic we've been talking so much about this whole night. I'm tired too. But yeah,
So we're all a little bit tired.
yeah. But yeah, I will see you guys in terms of the Sonic News Show on June 10th for the next Sonic News Show. Goodness knows what the guests will be on that day. But since we're gonna be off for 2 weeks, the show's gonna be gone for 2 weeks. You know, by all means, uh, I should know by then, and 2 weeks from now, we'll see it. And in terms of full streamings, I will see you guys tomorrow for the E3 coverage, start of the E3 coverage. That's gonna be a real doozy. Uh, I'm really pumped for that too. Um, but otherwise, mid-June we'll be seeing the new. By the way, mid-June we'll also be seeing the new dates, events for what SP I'll be doing for SP any streams, and yes, that will include Summer Sonic coverage because mid-June we'll be seeing July, August, and September. Guess what's in July? Uh, but that
Yay.
yeah, I'd imagine by then we might have an idea of the opening, a better idea. But since I did look at the FAQ and I did see that there is a general guise of what general idea of when you can count on Summer Sonic opening no earlier than and closing no later than. So I'll use that to my advantage and figure out the coverage hours. But yeah, I should see you guys, as I said, June 10th for Summer Sonic News Show, and May 21st tomorrow for E3 coverage. So yeah, pre-E3 coverage, Richie. Again, pre-E3 coverage. But yeah, until then, this is SSF taking care. I'm not gonna be doing an ending. Fuck the ending. I'll figure something out before then. But t take care, everyone. Uh,
Bye bye.
take
Bye
care.
bye, everybody. Bye bye.
See ya.